This episode of Housing for Good is brought to you by listeners and supporters just like you. If you believe in creating safe, stable, and affordable housing for everyone, consider supporting the McPherson Housing Coalition. Your donation helps us provide housing solutions, support services, and hope to those who need it the most. To donate, visit our website, mcphersonhousingcoalition.org. All donations are tax deductible. Thank you.
Welcome to Housing for Good, a podcast dedicated to housing topics and issues affecting our communities in McPherson County and beyond. With years of experience and expertise, hosts Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore discuss housing challenges and opportunities with other experts from a variety of housing fields.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Karolyn.
And I'm Chris.
So Chris, today we are being joined by Kristi Fowler.
Wow, that's exciting.
I'm super stoked about this one. So Kristi is one of our realtors in town. Known her for years.
Yeah.
She used to, our girls grew up together. And so we've known each other for, we're not even going to say how long because our girls are older now. What is our news today?
Well, we have a couple of different things. So first we'll talk a little bit about at the housing conference, we had a countywide meeting about housing and all the things that go with housing.
Yep.
So that's been a really great initiative. We're looking at doing a scattered sites across the county in 3 different communities. Marquette, Lindsborg, and Inman, doing some affordable housing in those communities with this money that we're supposed to be getting. So we're really excited about that, and we're bringing people together and trying to have the big questions answered. What do you need in your community?
Yeah.
What's acceptable? What you need and what you want may not match because maybe you're a community that likes specific types of housing and maybe you're not comfortable with low-income housing or not comfortable with this or with that. So for that money that we're getting, we have to determine what does that look like for your community. So I'm really excited. Our goal is to do scattered sites across the county and to be able to put housing in every single community across McPherson County and it makes sure that it's what they want and what they need as well. So I'm really excited about our meeting, our housing conferences. By the time this airs, it'll be over, but I'm excited about that. So that's going to be a great day, and that's what I have for that.
Okay. And then you are also on the county planning and zoning.
I am.
And so there's been some big work going on there that's been happening for a while now.
Yeah, I think almost a year we've been trying to do this, but it's the 20-year McPherson County Comprehensive Plan. So it pretty much affects everything that the Planning and Zoning Board do. It's a guide for the things that we're doing. So I know some of the things that we want to do is protect ag land. People want to build all over the place, but what they don't understand is once it's gone, it's gone. And we are the breadbasket, one of the breadbaskets of America. People are reliant on the food that we produce in our area. And if we continue to build on it without being responsible, we're going to lose that ground. And then what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So, Kristi, do you have a comment about that? Because you were on the steering committee. So Kristi was on that steering committee.
I am on the steering committee. I think the focus for the countywide was to anything outside of the incorporated areas. And so where do you want housing to grow and still retain the ag land that we have and the high production that this ground, this very fertile soil in McPherson County produces? So how do we work with the communities on that? But the countywide comprehensive plan was for those unincorporated areas.
Right. And I think it's a really good plan. We tweaked it a little bit at our last meeting, and it's ready to be published. I think we voted on having it published, and now the public has something to comment on. So if you're out there and you're interested in the 20-year comprehensive plan, please find that link on the McPherson County website. I'm not sure where else it's going to be. And make comments. Tell us, this is the dumbest thing I ever saw, or this is awesome, or I don't agree with this, or I agree with this. Because we don't know what people are wanting or what that looks like unless we have people. And I'm just going to say, comment on it now. Don't wait till it's done to complain about it. Exactly.
Get in there and get involved while you can still have a voice and an opinion on what's going to happen. So
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got?
So Kristi is also joining us, not because of a realtor or the steering committee.
Okay.
She's here today for what I know as the clean closet at St. Anne's Episcopal Church. And Kristi's going to tell us, I'm just going to ask you. Mm-hmm. So how did it start? And tell us a little bit about the purpose of the clean closet.
So the clean closet started as almost 10 years ago now. And we saw a gap in the community, whether that be folks that were just on fixed incomes, young families, but there seemed to be a gap. And so we took the initiative as one of our primary outreach projects at St. Anne's was to provide the clean closet. So the third Friday afternoon of every month, rain or shine, we open up the church and folks can come and get those cleaning supplies, hygiene products, from shampoo, toilet paper, deodorant, laundry detergent, and everything else in between. So hence the name Clean Closet. Whether it's for your dwelling or for your personal being, we're going to help you fill that gap.
So why do you feel like this is really important for families? What's so important about having a clean house or being able to have supplies for a shower or to clean your kids or just give them a bath even, just to be able to take a bath and have soap and shampoo, toilet paper, all the things that you do? Why do you think that's really important?
And so it empowers you to take pride in yourself and your dwelling space. Mm-hmm. You know, nobody wants to be that person that you don't want to stand next to. But a lot of times pride gets in our way. Money gets in our way. And one of the beautiful things that we do is we don't ask. We don't ask why you're there. We don't judge why you're there. You could come every month and you'll be our friend for life. You could come twice if you're in between jobs and get back on your feet. We just ask how many in your household. And from there, we will take care of you. And if you have a need that we don't supply, then a lot of times we can connect you with that resource. So,
do you do anything with diapers? Do you have anything along that line?
So not only am I a member of the church, but I'm the quote-unquote purchasing agent.
Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
I spend Wednesday morning over coffee, moving coupons over and everything. We do try and have a minimum supply of diapers.
Okay.
It's, but that is not our primary focus. But I've got some in sizes and whatnot. And so we do kind of bridge that. And if someone comes in, they're new and we didn't have what they needed, I'm not opposed to taking care of them.
Yeah.
So I'll go to buy what we need and get it to them.
So if somebody needs something and you don't have it, or if I want to donate it, is that?
Absolutely. So I had a young mom of two, recently separated situation, and she'd been the domestic engineer, and so they were in a short spot. And so had one in diapers. I had all the sizes but what she needed. So I went and got them and brought them over. And so we really do try and fill those spaces where we can.
Well, and hygiene and cleaning products are not something you're going to get from the local food bank. So while we typically think, donating food, the thing I love about the Clean Closet, it's like, oh my gosh, if people are needing food, they're also needing these items. Just common sense.
Right. And if you have a food card, you're not allowed to purchase those items at all. So you can't get paper products or cleaning supplies or personal hygiene. And none of that stuff is allowed, which is, to me, toilet paper and paper towels. And that's a basic necessity to have soap and shampoo and all those things. But so this is a really important mission that you have, doing that for people in our community. I think it's wonderful. And I'm not sure everybody still knows about it. Do you feel like maybe people don't still know maybe that you have this going on at the church?
There is probably not a month that goes by that we don't have a new visitor, a new guest. They just heard about it, or maybe their lives, that need just arose. So then they were connected with us. I will say, Karolyn, when you mentioned the food bank, they are one of our largest proponents. And so when guests go to the food bank, they've got a flyer up that tells them about this Clean Closet at St. Anne's. And we purposely picked the Friday afternoon because the food bank is also open during that same time.
That's really good coordination.
So we're just like thinking.
Yeah.
And you're not even far away. What is that, a few blocks away? How far are you?
Less than 4.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, you literally could go get in your car and drive or walk 4 blocks.
And I know a church I used to attend, we had this food pantry, and we also tried to keep diapers, and we also tried to keep cleaning products. And it just got to be too much for the hours that the church was open because, like, we're talking COVID shortly thereafter. You know, you don't have somebody there all the time. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, that church office was open Monday through Friday, pretty much 8 to 5. You know, you could pop in there at any time and catch the pastor, catch the office manager, the secretary. It's really not like that anymore. And so the one thing we did with the group that I was working with at that church was we decided, okay, we're going to get rid of all the cleaning stuff because there's a group over here doing it and they have designated times and people already know when they can go. So I love that part of it.
And they donated those things to Clean Closet.
And they're allowed to, people can donate to you.
Absolutely. So the food bank, when folks make donations to the food bank, if they're bringing in shampoo or diapers, or we have folks that will donate their stash of travel stuff from the hotels and things. And those are like little bonus things. Our backpack clients like those. But the food bank will then shuttle stuff back up to us that fits more into our mission.
Okay, but if I'm not dropping stuff off at the food bank, but I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take them some stuff.
Yeah.
When would be a good time to do that?
Well, you could always come for church on Sunday at 10 o'clock, or my phone number is available on the door, and or folks can call, and we can take care of that.
Do they ever drop by your office and try to bring you things?
Occasionally, we do. We take donations up there at Horizon Real Estate for St. Anne's.
See, we're advertising for everything.
I
Church,
know.
her business.
You didn't ask me how many hats I wear.
I know, right?
You just asked me to come.
I know, it's funny.
So, but a lot of times, those of us that are involved, we do wear multiple hats. Yeah. And both of you know that extensively in your line too. But yes, donations, monetary. We have tax exempt purchasing power. So in addition to my Wednesday morning pushing coupons over at various institutions, then we're buying tax exempt and we can do that. So we love donations.
Is there one thing or maybe 2 things that you need more than something else? Like maybe you have 1,000 shampoos, but you don't have any soap, or maybe you need more toilet paper. Is there one thing that goes out constantly that seems to be something everybody needs?
It's always toilet paper.
Okay.
Ironically enough, we had an industry that donated some toilet paper, and it wasn't your everyday household roll. This was that industrial carousel of toilet paper. The big one.
I've never seen one of those before. Have you?
I've never seen one in somebody's home.
There were cases. It would not fit in a toilet paper holder, and so when we had those, we only had to give one away because it would last forever.
Yeah.
But we actually first folks were like, oh, what am I going to do with this? And then when we finally had depleted our stash, they're like, what? No more big rolls? And so, but toilet paper is a consistent. The amount of product, I guess, that might go out depends on how many are in the household.
Yeah.
If you have a household of 2, then we try and give appropriately. If you have a family of 6, then we do that a little different as well. I buy laundry detergent in the normal size, if you will, that should be a month's supply. But for those families that might be larger, we've got the larger capacities and things like that too. So, but yeah, toilet paper is a consistent. We love suggestions. We had a client that said, hey, have you ever thought about trash bags?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hadn't even crossed my thought.
Right.
But
yeah.
But now you get 4 trash bags in your sack because I figure you're going to take it out at least once a week.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right. And
So how do you see housing challenges and the lack of basic household supplies go hand in hand?
Costs are just going up. And we all know that rents and housing in McPherson we have such a diversified economy, but our housing demand is extreme. If that's a fair analysis of it, they're just high. Mm-hmm. Rents are high. And a lot of times those working families that are trying to, if you're making a car payment and your house payment and maybe you have child support, those monies run out very quickly. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes people just need a little help to take care of the basics.
And it's probably the last thing on their list, right? There's certain things you have to do first. You got to pay your rent first or your child care first. Mm-hmm. And then you decide, okay, if I only have this much money, maybe I need to keep my utilities on. And you go down that list, and maybe these are the things that people really need to be able to live in their home comfortably. Mm-hmm. But they can't afford it, which makes so much sense as to why they did this, because they can't make it work because it's just toilet paper. It doesn't sound like very much. Toilet paper costs a lot anymore.
Tell me about it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Well, and you know something that I have kind of learned over the course of time is if you're poor, this is just one example, but if you're poor, you're not buying boxes of Kleenex.
Oh, yeah.
You're using toilet paper. Mm-hmm. And so depending on what
or a washcloth.
Or maybe. A washcloth. Depending on what you're able to buy kind of goes along with where you are economically. Mm-hmm. And that was pointed out to me when I was a kid growing up. We didn't really have Kleenexes. We just didn't. And it was pointed out to me as I got older. It's like, well, we always have Kleenexes, but we didn't always have Kleenexes. So just a simple thing, but it's like, you know.
My grandchildren love to pull them out of the box.
They
think it's confetti.
Yeah.
But.
And I have another story. This is hilarious. So you know how it used to be. I don't know how old you are, Kristi, but when I was a kid growing up, you had a bar soap. Bar soap at the bathroom sink, bar soap in the tub. Now what do you have? Body wash. Uh-huh. The liquid body wash. So I have a girlfriend. Her granddaughter came over and she's like 4. And Vicky had her wash her hands and there's this bar soap and the granddaughter is just lathering. She's like, does it always do this? You know, she was so excited.
It's magic. Bubbles.
It's magic.
Magic bubbles.
But at her house, they only had the body wash, this pump, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, the basics are so far out of there anymore that kids don't realize a bar soap, you know.
Well, I will tell you at Clean Closet, we give you bar soap.
Oh, okay.
So you can choose from Irish Spring, which is a very popular choice.
Really?
Okay.
Safeguard, or my favorite, Ivory.
Yeah.
But bar soap. Here
really?
we are.
Yeah. So most kids get to have that. You know, when my kids were in middle school, they were supposed to wash dishes. They didn't know how because we have a dishwasher, right? I mean, just something that they had no idea. Like, well, don't you know how to wash dishes? Nope. I can load a dishwasher and unload it and put the thing in, but I have no idea. I was like, I must be the worst parent on the planet.
No. So I'd like to circle back to, I made a reference to our backpack clients. Mm-hmm. And you asked me about housing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are the clients that have no house. These are the clients that sleep on a friend's couch.
Yeah.
Maybe stay over in a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a park bench.
Yeah.
So I consciously also have things for them. For instance, baby wipes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about that hygiene, you don't need this big bottle of shampoo.
Yeah.
Maybe you like those little travel things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're lighter. They go in your backpack easier. And then you can restock.
I'm curious as to how many people are coming in with that definition. I mean, just kind of a ballpark would be okay.
I don't always get the opportunity to distribute the product. Mm-hmm. However, I would say that there are probably 3 to 10 individuals every month that may be in that transitionary place.
I think people are surprised even in small communities like McPherson that we have people who are experiencing homelessness.
Yeah.
There was some that were sleeping in the park, Wall Park, I think it was.
Earlier in the week,
but they got flooded out, so they're not there now. But it's going on in every city. I bet every city across the nation, unless you're maybe a smaller town like 100 people.
You still do.
Yeah,
that are
you still
experiencing
everywhere. Yeah.
So that's great that you're consciously providing that service for them. And if we can do things, because we get donations too. We just donated a bunch of what was that? What you used to have to use during COVID? Sanitizer. Sanitizer, that's the word. Yeah, we just donated a whole bunch because they were collecting for school supplies and they need hand sanitizer. We had a whole bunch still from COVID. It's still good. We didn't give them everything that we had, but we gave them a lot. And we do have access to those types of resources, but we don't have a day that we have enough going on. I don't have a day that I can start giving things out to people.
Understand.
If somebody comes here and needs something, we provide it. We have a few extra blankets, a little bit of dog food.
Dog food for their pet that travels with them.
Yes, not for them.
Yes.
Companion.
Yes.
Companion, and some other things that we have out here, just in case. We don't have a lot of people coming out here experiencing homelessness where they literally have nothing and they have nowhere to go that night, and they can't go into the cottages because they do have a pet, and we don't allow that just because it's only 90 days. And if somebody has a pet and then they move out, can we get rid of the dander? Is the next person allergic? We just can't go there. But we do here try to provide a little bit, but nothing like obviously with what you're doing. But we do get resources that we're always willing to share. So that's good to know.
Fantastic.
Because if you get an offer from maybe the COC that says, hey, we have these backpacks full of this stuff, maybe that's the right resource right there.
Yeah. Now you mentioned 3 to 10 backpack neighbors, but okay, let me back up.
That's my guess. Keep in mind, we don't ask.
Yeah. How many years has the Clean Closet been open?
Nearly 10.
And so how have your numbers changed from when you started to where you are now? I'm assuming they've grown.
They have. They have increased. So depending on the time of the year, we can, on average, we would serve between 80 and 110 people every month.
Every month, okay.
Wow.
In an afternoon.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that's number of people. So we might have 28, 35 households, but
they have
number
kids.
of people. Yeah.
Wow.
And the dynamics of it changes too. So our guests, I might have a period of time where we have more elders than we have young people. So I got a backlog of feminine hygiene. And then the next thing you know, the tide has shifted.
Yeah.
So the community really is utilizing this service as a way to fill that gap and help themselves.
Seniors are becoming one of the largest populated homeless people across the nation and internationally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really scary.
So
how do you measure the impact of the work just beyond the numbers of items being given out?
I think one of the ways that we are made aware that we make a difference is the community feedback, the guests. I had one lady in particular, she probably came to Clean Closet during a rough patch 4 years ago, and now she makes a donation to Clean Closet on behalf of family because it helped them through that time.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we have folks that really are paying it forward, and or they'll tell a friend or their neighbor or like, hey, I know you're in a spot, but why don't you go over here to St. Anne's and catch them on a Friday? And I have folks that say, oh, I forgot that last week was the third Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll still take care of you.
Yeah.
Can they come in and, like, if I wanted to come volunteer, do you accept volunteers? Is it mainly run by people from the church? So we know you can donate funds or supplies or in-kind, that type of thing. Can somebody volunteer? Is that something that you would even want or need?
So right now we've been able to man the Friday afternoon clean closet with church members. At one point when we started, we had it on a Friday afternoon and a Saturday morning. I don't have enough volunteers to do the Saturday morning anymore, so we just have it on a Friday afternoon. So if we had folks that from the community that wanted to do something and volunteer a couple hours on a Saturday morning, we could sure do that. We could expand those hours again, because we do understand, and that's why I'm willing to meet people outside of those normal hours, is that if you're working, whether it's, during the day or whatever the case may be, you're probably not going to make it back by 4 o'clock to come to the church and during those hours. So we really do try and be accommodating.
So looking at that same question about needing volunteers, do you have goals for the next year or two? Do you want to just keep going how you are? What's your dream? I could do something, and people and money we're not, you can just do whatever.
This sounds like the ultimate Chris Goodson question.
It is.
She loves this.
This is my favorite question.
I've heard this before, maybe somewhere in a different hat, but it was like, if money was no object, what would you do? I'd have to say I've never really given that much thought. St. Anne's congregation is small but mighty, and this has been a project that we can do, but I guess if there was a dream, then it would be to expand it for more times, have it available at different options, whether that be a Wednesday night or a Saturday morning. Because I do think that there are plenty of folks out there that can benefit from just a little help, a little hand, help. And there were clients that called me one time, and they're like, "Oh, Miss Kristi." And I said, I guess, of course, my name and my number's all over. But anyway, "Oh, Miss Kristi." And I said, "Well, how can I help?" And they said, "Oh, we were told to call you. You have chemistry supplies." And I'm like,
chemistry supplies.
Chemistry. And keep in mind, they had an accent. I'm like, okay, what nationality would I have chemistry? Oh, you mean clean closet. So they were thinking the chemicals you clean with and things like that. So in their nationality, I'm like, I'm not a scientist, but I had the chemistry supplies.
The one hat you don't wear is chemist.
That's right. I do not.
Oh my gosh.
And
funny.
so there were two gentlemen that were new to the area. They had good jobs, but they just needed help getting established. So we took care of their chemistry supplies for a couple months, and they were most grateful. And,
that's awesome.
And so,
well, I know when we have folks that stay in our cottages, we have a pantry that can help supply those cleaning products and hygiene products, and whatever they need while they're there. If they can't do it themselves, but when they move out, I remind them about the clean closet, because if you're not used to buying those things and you're already a little strapped with where you're at, even though you're doing okay, it's just, like you said, another handout to help somebody with a step up to be a little bit more self-sufficient. So
that transition can be expensive sometimes.
Yeah, it can.
And stressful.
And I will say to the listeners out there, if you're across America, we have a lot of international people that listen, this is something you can do in your community. And I don't think it's that hard to do it. You know what I mean? Doesn't take a rocket scientist. It just takes passionate people who want to help. And it seems small, but being clean, having your house be clean, that's a really great way to feel better about yourself, and for your kids to feel better about it too, to go to school and be clean and know their home is clean. So just be thinking about that if you live somewhere else. We're always trying to give you ideas about food banks and clean closets and that type of thing, but be thinking, what can you do maybe as a church body? Maybe you belong to an organization. Maybe you're part of a youth group or something. Think about how you could reach out into your community and provide soap and toilet paper and paper towels, just those basic necessities.
Well, and if you don't have the time to put the man hours in to volunteer, maybe you run some sort of a collection drive, and for a month or whatever, you help collect the items, pass the word, bring the stuff in, and then you take it and donate it. You're still helping that organization. Right. So I love it.
That has happened. EMS 1 month did a drive a few years ago, and they stuffed the truck
Oh, wow.
And so they brought over it was an ambulance, but anyway, they brought it they were stuffing the ambulance, but they brought it over in the back of a pickup truck. And so that was quite a number. And I will say that if you have physical handicaps, like you can't do stairs, we accommodate that as well. We have an elevator at St. Anne's, and so we're able to bring you down to the basement, the undercroft as we call it, which is where we house the clean closet.
So if someone would have a question, maybe they are not able to get around really well and they want to make sure that they're going to be able to get in, is there a number they would call about any questions that involve them coming there, being able to access stuff for donations, volunteering? What would be a number to call?
Sure. They could, if they wanted to talk to the machine, because like most small churches, we don't have staff to keep the secretary doors open. So that number would be 241-0298. But if they want to talk to me, then they can give me a ring, 620-242-8011.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming here today and talking with us about the Clean Closet. I'm impressed every time we talk to one of these local nonprofit agencies doing work. They're all so different, and yet we need every single one of them. They're meeting a need. So if you would be interested in being on our podcast, you want to leave us a review, tell us how we're doing, you can do that at housingforgood@mcphersonhc.org. Thank you for listening.
And have a great day.